We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport. Welcome to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We've got the legend himself, William Fox Pitt, in the Jump for Joy studio today. We're going to be right back, but first we're going to check in with Horse Trailer Pros.
That's a good idea.
Thanks. Want to advertise on the John and Rick Show? Contact John at 352-875-8622.
Or call Rick at 850-879-2649.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are in the Jump for Joy studio, John. It's a great show. We have William Speedlane Fox Pitt coming on. What do you think about that?
Nicely done.
I know, right?
He loves that.
I know. He doesn't like it a lot.
No, but it's fun to say.
What a tall, cool guy.
Yeah, it's exciting that he's here.
Yeah.
And it's a great interview, so you guys are really going to love that. But we should get into what we've got going on now. And do we want to go into the weekend and the results first, or do we want to announce the winner of last week's competition first? What do you want to do?
Let's announce the winner.
Okay. So, last week's show with Sally Spickard from the Go Eventing podcast, we had the competition was what?
What, winning what?
What did they have to
Oh, they had to tell us where Sally first rode and how old she was.
Right, okay. So the winner was Nancy Mason. She had a good answer. So Nancy is going to contact us. Probably easiest if she sends me a text.
Yep.
So Nancy, text me at 352-875-8622. And then we will get your $25 gift certificate from I Love My Horse.
Yep.
And you can go in there and have some fun down here at WEC. I think you can also call them and get some stuff ordered if you're not in Ocala.
Yep.
But it's a great store, and you guys will have a great time shopping there. It'll get you started, so congratulations. One other thing, because we didn't on the last show, Rick, we neglected to announce the winner.
Right, and then you posted it, so we need to announce it again, so you go.
Yeah, so from the Julia Krajewski show, Tamara Wurst won that. So Tamara, if you didn't see the post on our Instagram, first of all, shame on you, because you should totally check out our Instagram. But second, congratulations, you won that one. So
the Jan Benny show person got a hold of you?
I don't even know what that one was.
We're
super confused. But Tamara, you won one. Maybe that was Jan.
It was the Jan Benny show, so I don't know.
It wasn't Julia.
Okay, so did you just write that up there now?
No. That's from before.
All right.
I don't know.
This is John's idea, everybody, and he can't keep track of it.
I can't keep track of anything. Look, it's been a long winter.
Well, tell us about that.
It was just Ocala, right?
It wasn't that far away.
I mean, I love it. And I have to say, I've actually the last few years found more balance.
Yeah, that's good.
And it's less insane. But there's a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm still proud of you for not putting lights in the cupboard.
That was a conscious decision when it was built. It actually was not engineered to be able to have lights.
So you could work past dark.
I was like, I know me. If I can put lights in, I will. We're not going to do that.
And that's why you're voting for no daytime savings anymore, right?
I want us to stay
like this?
Daylight savings time.
I like it the other way.
Really?
Yeah. It's lighter earlier.
No, I like it when it's lighter later.
We get up early.
So do I.
No, you
but
don't.
I do. I get up early and then I sit and I drink coffee. It's my favorite thing. That's like my hobbies consist of sitting drinking coffee, watching either the news and or Star Wars television shows and podcasts.
Sound like Briggs.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Carolina.
Yeah, so you guys were there?
We did. We went to Carolina International. Great event. I think this year was really anticipated by a lot of people because Ian Stark left last year. He retired, and this year we have Derek DeGrazia.
Yep.
And we all know he designs the 5-star at Kentucky and the 4 short, which we all call the 4.5 short.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a tough track.
Yeah.
I mean, it was tough. I mean, horses, once they got in there and people were riding it, things went pretty well. But it was tough. And it weeded out some people. Unfortunately, Briggs had his first blip on his FEI career with the pony. She just jumped the table really big and he had a down bending line to a corner. The line wasn't there. She tried to jump and it wasn't there and he just popped off.
That's a bummer. But like I said to Briggs, I think in the end it's going to be a good thing because personally, when I've had horses that are such impeccable horses like the pony, if they don't have some sort of a little ding on their record somewhere, it starts to get in your head.
I think that happened.
It starts to get in your head a little bit and you're like, oh, I can't mess this up. It's got a perfect record and I don't want to have that happen. So I know it's a bummer and it's disappointing this weekend, but it's like getting a new car and you put that first scratch on it and then you're like, yeah, it's fine. Now we'll just drive it.
I know. We have the great Ronnie Beard here with us. He's visiting or actually judging this week at HITS.
Oh,
so
cool.
He's a good guy to have say, hey, what do you do when something goes like that? And he's like, you just put it behind you, you keep moving on, right, Ronnie?
Absolutely.
Just keep pressing on.
Yeah, so that's what we did. But Carolina really had some really good rides, and congratulations to the Gardners.
Yep.
We're going to go through who won the 4-star short.
We need to do that, and then don't forget when we get done, we need to do chat as well.
We'll do that.
Yeah, okay.
Chat was first, but
weekend before.
we'll
Let's
go
do Carolina now.
with what just happened. By the way, the event went off really well. The footing was
good,
incredible, and the whole thing was.
I will say I was at Ocala just at the horse trial, and I was trying so hard to pull up the live feed.
On
I
Horse
couldn't
and
get it to
Country.
work.
Really?
And I don't blame Horse and Country. I think it's me, but I
was
swear
gonna
I have a
blame them.
subscription. It said I had a subscription, and every time I hit play, nothing would happen. So I don't know if like my service wasn't good enough.
No, I think there was some glitches because a couple people said that.
Yeah, it was like frozen or something.
Right.
So
were you on the app or were you?
It was on my phone, yeah. So I was on the app, yeah.
Well, the Gardners were there.
Right.
And they were so excited because she won. Jenny Brannigan won on FE. It's hard not to say I.
Yeah, it is.
FE Lifestyle.
Right.
I think that was that horse's first win. Do you know? He usually knows. I think it is. Just great for them.
Right.
Terrific supporters of the sport. Amazing owners for Jenny. And she did a great job and piloted that horse around really well.
You know what's kind of cool is I think, and I could be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure Jenny's been up in Pennsylvania this whole time. I don't think she's made it south, and if she has, it hasn't been for long.
Okay.
I know she's been up there for a lot of the winter, so she wouldn't have had the same amount of time down here getting
Horses
the horse
look
ready.
great.
Yeah, it's just kind of neat.
Yeah, and then second was really, he's been working really hard. Canadian Waylon Roberts.
Yep, and he goes smoking fast on that horse.
And that's a cool horse. It's a cool mare. And he came in second. Third, Allison Springer. Let me tell you, next horse, it's just a small horse. It's a Connemara thoroughbred named No Bay Moon.
Yep.
Was third. Congratulations, Allison. I know you're on the moon with that. That
good. Well done.
Little horse. Yeah, and I think who else is in there for fourth? We had fourth was Emma Klugman from Australia.
Yep.
Good for her. Lindsay Trisnell from Canada.
Yep.
Are you laughing at me that I?
No, I'm laughing because I'm positive you didn't pronounce it correctly, but I don't know how. And she's been on the show and told me several times.
I think we talked to her a long time about pronouncing her husband's name, so she'll know that I'm just one of those people.
Yeah, it's fine.
Will Fawdry on Fun.
Yep.
Was after Lindsay. And then Colin Gaffney, which I've seen Colin a couple times, and I just realized
Is it Colin or Colin? I'm asking honestly.
I don't know. Colin. Colin.
I'd say Colin.
Colin. Gaffney. Gaffney. Colin.
No, that's right. Good job. I'm really
Was
proud of
on
you
a horse
right now.
named Baymax. Whose horse was that?
I know that name.
Come
First
on.
of all, it was a cartoon movie. Really good movie, Baymax. Or at least that was the main
You
character.
know this person. He no longer does eventing. He was super. He made the Olympics, and now he's doing show jumping only. Has a family, flies an airplane.
Oh, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doug Payne.
Yeah.
That was Doug Payne's horse.
Doug Payne actually is in town right now. He was jumping over at...
Yeah, he never calls, never texts.
I talked to him, and I was supposed to call
Because
him
he
this
probably
week.
called and texted you.
I think he needed something, but yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So anyway, sorry, Doug, I didn't get a hold of you to do dinner, but we'll get it done. So it was a good event.
Yes, it was very good.
always is
The
up
3-star and the 4-star, Elisa had her list of quality. Those owners came out to watch. It was their first 4-star. Same combination, same line as Briggs, bigger Irish mare.
Right.
She didn't even attempt to jump it, which is probably good for Elisa. It just took her past it, and
Right.
Elisa came back around, jumped it, and then had a really good run.
So am I going to get phone calls about setting up a table to a corner?
Not for her, because that was her fault.
Okay.
If it's her fault, she doesn't need it. If it's something she feels there's education needed to happen, then
Right.
you'll get that call.
Okay. I was gonna say, I just haven't got it yet.
She had the 3-star horse, Telemari Fifi, was having a beautiful run. That thing is just really, really fast and really hard to keep a hold of. And she jumped in the last water, just jumped, and Elisa had a long rein. There's no way to get the chevron. She had to circle and do that.
So
Come
kind
on
of
in.
too silly technical
Stuff.
Right.
Briggs is, going to Terra Nova next, and we're still heading toward Kentucky, then Bromont.
Cool.
But
Good.
Bucart Farms, you were there.
Yeah. So can you pull the record?
Don't you remember?
No.
Come on,
I'm
John.
pretty sure Caroline won.
I'm going to sneeze.
That's fine. Sneeze away.
No, it's not good. Okay, let me see.
Look at the lights.
Keep talking while I'm looking.
So went up to Chattahoochee to Bucart Farm. It was
There we go.
good job. It was honestly, it was a great event. They had a bunch of rain leading up to it. The footing was beautiful. Clayton Fredericks designed the course, and I know Clayton does a good job, but I always get nervous when you go and there's a new designer somewhere.
Right.
Hugh Lahore had it for so long, and they made a change, and Clayton did a great job. It was tough enough. It asked all the questions you needed to ask. It wasn't over the top difficult. I would say it was proper to the level for each one. So like if you think, like you were saying, Carolina maybe was like a 4.5 star, I'd say without having seen that, I believe that, and I would have told you that Bucart was a 4-star, and the 3-star was a 3-star, and there was enough to do, but it wasn't ridiculous. So we had, like I said, Caroline Pamuchu on HSH 16. She won it. Lucienne Bellissimo on Deary. I love that horse, and so
She has a string of really
yeah,
nice
she's got
horses.
great horses. So Lucienne was second. Then you had Philip up there on Jubilant, which is pretty cool because David Voss, who we've had on the show, is an owner of that horse for Philip.
Oh, really?
And he came up and watched, and I saw David and got to hang out quite a bit.
Very cool. David Voss is the engineer technology behind frangibles and mempims.
Yeah, and if you guys want to find out about him, just scroll back in your podcast player or on YouTube.
Really interesting and very smart guy.
Yeah, super smart guy. And then Caroline was there again on the HSH Tolan Kin, and then the last one, King, sorry, and then the last one, because I love this person and her horse, is Shannon Lilly on that Eindhoven Garrett horse.
Yeah,
That-
she's found one that's doing some good for her. That's
yeah,
good.
It's a nice horse, super
Love
cross-country
Shannon.
horse.
She's a big volunteer on boards and committees, and
Yep.
just a good woman.
Yep, so it was good, and...
How did you do?
I did well. Yeah.
Well, tell us.
I took Zelda there. She,
Yeah.
I took a handful of horses.
But you got to tell everybody, we hear Zelda. What's her show name?
Fernhill Esmeralda,
Thank you.
and she's super cool. I think I've told you this story, but I always think it's interesting. I don't think I've told it on the show. When we went to look for horses, we looked, and I was going over to find 2 nice young horses, and I found Call Up Cooley and Fernhill Esmeralda because I like to keep all of the dealers over there happy. So I bought one from each. But when I tried Zelda, I said, no, I'm not going to buy that one. And I chose a different horse because I just found like she was hard for me to like manage. She was so hot and chestnut mare.
Like your wife.
Yes. And I was like, I can only deal with one difficult woman at a time. So, but Jen wanted me to choose Zelda. She's like, that's a special horse. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. So I sent the videos to Leslie because I wanted his opinion. But I'd already said I'm buying this other one.
Right.
And I accidentally sent a video of Zelda. And he sent back to me, well, yeah, the one you like is okay, but why aren't you buying the chestnut mare? That's the special one. And I was like, I'm not like, fine, we can vote on it. My vote counts for 2 because I'm going to ride it and I'm buying it. And then you and Jen and Leslie, Mrs. Law, can all have a vote.
And they voted 3.
And all 3 voted me down,
Of course
3 to
they
2.
did.
So I had to call up and change the horse that I was going to buy, which seriously affected my negotiating power at that point. and we brought her back, and it was a little bit to get to know her, but she's such a special mare.
She is I really like her.
Yeah.
So note to self, don't ever go in when you have the Leslies
Yeah.
and your wife
Yeah, they're
and
gonna gang
decide
up on
what
me.
you're getting before they've put in their 2
I might as
cents
well
worth.
just listen to them. 'Cause
I think that's what you do.
the other horse was a very nice horse and probably is doing amazingly well. I haven't kept track of it, but anyway, I ended up with
Well, you ended up with a good one.
with a very nice mare, and she was awesome. She had a very good quality dressage test. It's still coming, but I think by the time we get to her long this spring, I'm going to have it. She did nothing wrong. It was a nice, clean test.
Right.
And she show jumps so good.
She does.
You just point her.
And good cross country,
And
which
she was
is
great
important.
cross country. And I could have probably, to be fair, been a little bit quicker, but it was her first 3-star, her 3rd intermediate. And
I think you did the right
just
thing.
wanted to make
You gotta
sure
settle
that
in.
she's such a fast, aggressive horse. I wanted to make sure she went out, and I was still kind of training her a little bit around there. And I got done, and I kind of was kicking myself because I had more time than I needed to have, but I just.
But
felt
you
like
would
I
have
needed
kicked
to make
yourself if you had problems on the course.
For sure.
And
sure.
So you did the right thing. So where are you going to take them next?
sure. So we'll head down to Terra Nova.
We're going there.
Yeah, we'll be like a team again.
All right.
Be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
We
So
can-
you're taking who?
So I'm going to take Zelda and Kurt in the 3-star, and then I'll have Loch Natusa Annika and Call Up Cooley in the 2-star.
Awesome.
So it'll be fun.
And it's Alec Lahore.
Yep. And he did a great job, I thought, last
Yep,
year.
last
It'll be interesting to see
November.
what he does with those coffins.
He's going to change them.
I mean, he's got to make them lower,
Yeah,
right?
he's got to bring it down a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a cool concept, right?
I think they just built them up too high.
He got extravagant.
Yeah.
Excited about that. Then we have Ocala International coming up.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun in the middle of April and right before Kentucky. So Kentucky's coming. And I just remind everybody that's competing and doing all these FEI events, be kind and courteous to your officials. And even if you feel like they're wrong, just kind of
Yeah, well, I
take a
mean,
deep
so let's
breath.
talk about that a little bit because I saw Dana Deemer had her post on Facebook.
Yep.
And
And I would like to say something before you go on about that. I said this to Elisa when she called me. And I'm not throwing Dana under the bus, but at the same time, I feel as though that should have been something that was handled off.
maybe. Yeah, maybe.
What's your opinion?
I don't know because I wasn't there. I don't know what
Right.
happened.
I don't know
think-
what happened. I was there.
Right. So I don't know what happened. I will say for sure officials should not have to tolerate abuse.
Yep. Agreed.
And I love Dana.
Dana's
had-
great. Her husband was there with her too.
Yeah, she does a great job as an official, and I think in general all of the officials do a really good job in the sport. I would be a liar if I said I've never gotten upset with an official and barked at somebody about it. And in the heat of the moment, I think sometimes that happens, and no excuse for it. You can't do it. And
I mean,
you get in trouble for it.
We've been in that situation. I think where it's a tight line is when they are, and this is, I'm not saying anybody in this situation were or was being, when they are difficult about things that kind of seem like they need to be a little bit kinder. But I think to me, in the last year, I've seen that change.
Right.
I've seen a change in the officials. I've seen a change in the way they approach. And I think we all start to integrate and have a better relationship. I don't know what happened at Carolina, but here's what I think, because if it did happen, I think it
So
should...
for those who don't know, basically
Okay.
Dana's just saying that, from what I read, there was a competitor who lost their cool, got very aggressive with one of the stewards, I'm assuming, and
reduce
sounds
them
like-
to tears.
Yeah, sounds like they were abusive and reduced the official to tears, which I can say I've never done that. I've tried. And
You have Trinity, though.
yeah, I've definitely made Trinity cry without even meaning to, actually. But again, I only say that because I don't want to be disingenuous and make it sound like, oh, you never should do that. Like, I've lost my cool, and I try not to. It does happen, but it is inexcusable. And when it does happen, there should realistically be a penalty for it.
Yeah, I'm saying that's happened with us before, but I think in this situation,
Right.
And in our situation, I didn't post that on Facebook. I think, and I think Dana's just needed to get something off her chest.
Yeah.
I wish that at that event, if that happened, that, as Bobby Stevenson said in a comment, that they would have gone and filed something with the
Well, they
ground
probably should
jury.
have done that as well. I guess the only thing sort of against, and I know you've been on this before about like, don't go on social media, don't post the negative. The only thing I'd say, sort of to the counterpoint of that, is by doing that, now we're on our podcast talking about it,
Sure.
and it's being brought up, and maybe that will help raise some awareness because we're a really big deal.
Well,
people
and maybe
listen.
maybe Dana did a service in doing it, because maybe then officials see, if that was me or Briggs, it would have gone to the ground jury.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
I mean, it
the
would have
problem is
gone
we
to the
don't know
ground
what-
jury. We would have been pulled in front of them, and we would have said, why did you do that? I would have got sanctioned and got a yellow card.
Right.
Which is what should happen if that properly happened in that.
Yeah, and
we only hear one side, right?
Yeah, and
We
I don't know I don't know much about it, but I do think there's probably some value to putting it into the public sphere and
Right.
talking about
And
it.
she did it anonymously. She just said the situation,
Yeah.
which is fine. So, Dana, if you're listening, I think you're great. Your husband was there. You're terrific too, husband. I don't know his name, Mr. Dana.
I do know.
I think
feel
Marjorie.
bad,
I mean,
I'm
Marjorie was
gapping.
there. Beth Davidson. They're all super. I
Yeah.
mean, we just had a really great.
Did they have the noseband thing?
They
there?
did.
And how does that work?
That
Was it easy?
Briggs went and did it.
Super easy, actually way
Super easy.
better than I thought, because it doesn't have to slide through easy. It could be like some tension to pull it through.
Interesting. Okay.
And then the other thing is, it's for all three phases, not
Yes.
just dressage.
Right.
A lot of people just thought it was dressage. I'm like, well, it's all three phases.
Right. Cool.
So-
we have a competition this show with William. Do you remember what it is? Or should we
John,
talk-
you're the one that
why
heads
don't-
this
why
up.
don't we talk? Why am I the one that heads this up?
I don't know. Wasn't there a competition?
Well, you guys are gonna have to keep watching the show and check in with William. I know there is.
There is. It's
And you need
toward
to
the end.
Keep listening through the whole show to find out what this week's competition is.
It might be his added name.
Maybe. I don't remember.
Nope, I remember. But it may be his added name.
It might be. You guys
It might be his height, his weight, his age, or when he retired.
Could be any of these things.
Right.
We'll have to watch and see.
Cool show, though.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. You guys are gonna love William.
Oh, I want to say this before we go.
Yes.
William, pull me aside. Will. I think he likes to be called Will, by the way.
Okay.
Will pulled me aside and he goes, my interview with you and John was very entertaining and fun.
Of course.
And
It
one
was.
of the best interviews I've had.
That's very nice of him to say.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said, of course it was. I was trying to be funny.
Well, go ahead.
That's amazing. I appreciate that from William. So I hope you guys enjoyed the interview as well. Let's check in with our sponsors. Thank you to Horse Trailer Pros as always. And thank you to Jump for Joy for this beautiful studio. We appreciate it.
And one thing as we leave, we have Ronnie Beard here, we have Briggs. We're going to start that past of the
History of the
history
horse.
horse. And Ronnie's
Is that
going
what
to
we're
be a really good curator of what happened in the past. So we're going to do that at our house in the library.
I can't wait. I
know.
can't wait. We have to think of a good name. History of the Horse, or should it be like something clever rhyming with Briggs? Breaking it down with Briggs or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You guys, you have to stay tuned and keep checking in on the YouTube
That's
channel
right.
for that one. All right. We'll be right back.
EquiBrew, now available in the USA. It's a live probiotic that you feed daily to your horses. The live microbes go into your horse's gut and cleans up the gut wall, creating a healthy gut system.
EquiBrew is an essential part of my feeding program. My horses love to eat it, and it does a really good job of promoting gut health and also good behavior and great performances.
It's something I recommend for all of your horses, no matter what they do in their careers.
It's so affordable, I can use it on all of my horses in the barn, not just my top horses.
Order EquiBrew today by going to brickfieldnutrition.com or calling 850-879-2649.
All right, so we're here with Sally Spickard, and I wanted to mention the new podcast, Go Eventing. Sally, it is going to be great.
Yeah, we're really excited about it. It's going to have bi-weekly episodes. We're going to have about 20 episodes for you in 2025. So we're very excited to have kicked this thing off, and would love for everybody to take a listen. So I think we'll all do a lot of the same things, but I think more podcasts in the eventing space especially is going to be really cool.
Yeah.
I really like the idea. And Will Faudrey is the first guest that you're having. What a great first guest to have.
Absolutely, yeah.
Everybody out there need to watch or listen to your show on all the podcast outlets.
Yep.
And you can go to Eventing Nation's
Eventingnation.podbean.com is the main podcast page. So you can listen to it there or on your favorite podcast platform.
Go Eventing.
Go Eventing.
Hi, my name is Caroline Pabucci, and I'm here with Jump for Joy. These are one of my key training techniques I use at home. They're extremely easy to use. They're very safe. And the thing I love about it is that they fall down. They have safety cups on them, which are extremely important to me to keep me and the horse safe. I love the fact that Jump for Joy has these type of brush on the jumps. It's a really easy way to teach my young horses how to jump through brush properly. There's not a better jump on the market.
Grant Showalter has over 15 years of equine bodywork and saddle fitting experience. His technique allows him to identify and alleviate tightness in muscles. He uses trigger point massage to release points of restriction. Grant has over a decade of experience fitting and adjusting a wide variety of saddles. His expertise in equine physiology, coupled with a thorough understanding of the importance of a properly fitted saddle, allows him to quickly identify and correct any balance issues. Grant can also adjust your saddle on site. Grant works on all of my competition horses, and I have noticed a significant improvement in their performance at competitions and their overall way of going. Grant's based in Ocala, Florida year-round, but regularly travels to the surrounding areas. For more information or to schedule an appointment, call 484-639-4454.
I stopped in and I love my horse today, and I got to tell you guys, it is such a cool store. They're over at WEC, right by the Grand Prix Arena. They have everything you could possibly need. Clothing, tack, accessories, whatever you need to find, they will be able to take care of you. Fun store to shop in. If you're like me and you event and you need some last minute things at the competition to save the day, they also have a mobile unit, and I Love My Horse will absolutely take care of you and get you everything you need to have a great competition. Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We are here with the legendary William Speedlane Fox Pitt. You're welcome.
You said you'd say that.
I did. I told you I would. And we are in the EquiBrew segment. And so EquiBrew is an awesome live probiotic. They are a big part of my program here. It is basically like kombucha for horses.
Okay.
Helps their gut health. And Rick, you can give us all the details.
Sure,
on that.
it's a live microbe that goes into the gut. Lucinda and Lissa have been trying it over in England. It comes from New Zealand, used by a lot of racetracks. Japan's racing industry are all on it. But it goes in and it creates a really good gut health for your horses to absorb and get all the nutrients that you're feeding them, and it really balances everything out. So EquiBrew's been great. You can go to brickfieldnutrition.com. Also now you can go to equibrewusa.com. We are now combining the two and getting you there, and Instagram and Facebook.
Need to get it in the UK.
Yes.
We have to ship it over with horses that are going.
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
I've heard that. They've got to
Yeah.
go with horses.
So we can
yeah.
get it there.
Yeah.
But as soon as we can find a way to get it there, it's going to be there. And your yard will be sponsored.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me.
Yeah, there you go. You
get
get a
on.
sponsorship out of this
Yeah.
deal already.
Got to keep his horses nice and going good.
Yeah, exactly. So the last time we had you here was basically this same time of year a year ago.
A year ago.
Yeah, and
Oh,
you were
okay.
getting ready to go to badminton, and
Yep. That's
things
cool.
have changed for you a bit since last year.
Yeah, they have. I've given up. It's great.
I don't call it giving up.
I recommend it.
Do you? Way less stressful?
No, very different.
Right.
I think I was determined to have badminton last year. I had a good horse, and I wanted to do my best. I just came out of it, sailing across country, thinking I felt such relief that I hadn't looked like an idiot, that I actually had ridden okay and had a good round. I thought, I don't want to put myself through that again, because, as I said before, it's more at my age, the fear of looking like an idiot is more important than the desire to win it.
Maybe that's because you were so good and are so good that you never knew what it was like looking like an idiot. A lot of people look like idiots their whole career and they're fine with it.
No, I've had plenty of times looking like an idiot, but you're okay when you're young.
Right.
When you're old, you just can't look like an idiot. It's not good.
I understand that.
I think you still have it. You
I
can
get
keep
that.
going, but yeah.
So how has it been since retirement? You've been keeping busy?
Not very busy. No, it's quite nice.
That's good.
I've been
Spend time with family,
wandering
boys?
around, doing the school run,
Yeah.
riding 4-year-old, breaking into 3-year-old.
Right.
A lot more teaching. So no, I've been busy enough, but very different. Very different kind of intensity, and so far so good. I think I ought to find a few more things to do. Maybe. I tend to get a little bit lazy and a bit comfortable quite easily. But
Did you find, once the retirement happened, did you find anything in your techniques of training or doing your clinics that you're doing here in the United States change? Or is everything the same moving forward? It's kind of a weird question, but it's just sometimes there's things that happen that you might correlate into your training.
That's a good question. I think nothing's changed as far as what I believe and I'm training. I think I'm able to give a bit more time to it. I'm able to maybe actually have time to notice how someone's gone and where they might be going next, and therefore I'm a bit more involved. To sound a personal level, but to be a bit more engaged is good.
Sure.
Whereas before it was very much, I'm teaching now and then I'm gone.
Right.
Whereas now I'm able to actually, how did they go? And send me a message and let me know and send me a photo. And
So do you have a line, do you have a group of people that you really do follow a bit and work with? Obviously you do. Is there a...
There's obviously some people at home. I've got a very good girl called Jo Rimmer, who is on my yard, and she is got 6 horses.
Oh, wow.
And at the moment, she doesn't seem to have any time to ride any of mine. The whole point was she might ride the one of mine, but I'm helping her. She's left university now. She's got her degree, and now she's focusing on horses. So I'm very much there on a weekly basis, unless I'm here.
Yeah.
And she's making a good cut of making it her career, which is very exciting. I've also got some younger riders based with me. It's got a couple of horses each. They're doing studies as well, but
See, I think I find that
managing the
exciting.
horses. So I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited by their progress, and I'm helping them when they're away studying, and when they come and I'm around, I give them a lesson. And
That's awesome.
so there's quite a few horses. We still seem to have 27 blinking horses on the place, but there's 4 that I am involved with. 1 to sell, a very nice intermediate horse that I produce to sell. So he ought to go, because I do need to make some money sometime. And then 3 young ones are sort of, 1 my mother's bred and 2 I bred, homebreds that might be for my kids one day, or I might sell and make some money on. But yeah, they're all mine.
Yeah. Well, 4's not that many.
No, it's not that many. No, but it's quite a lot when you're paying for them.
Yeah, exactly. So you're still riding.
Yeah, I'm still.
And are you? I think
Quite
I remember
busy.
when you were talking about sort of you were stepping down from the 5-star level. You were still going to event a bit. Are you still competing some?
Yeah, I am. I'm jumping low jumps. I'm
Right.
doing 1 meter, 1 meter 10.
Fun.
Enjoying that.
Yep.
It's probably far riskier riding young horses around events.
That's where all my worst injuries have been.
than it was riding my good old mare Graffinet around badminton. But that's not the point.
Right.
So I'm clinging on tight, and riding young horses is keeping me young, and it's good to be in the game.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I guess my sort of next question that I wanted to make sure I got to was your friend Leslie just got the U.S. job as sort of the head guy. Is that something that you see in your future, like team stuff? Is that anything coaching-wise that interests you?
I saw him up at the showcase. We had a good long chat. I mean, I take my hat off to him. I mean, he's taken on a hell of a job.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited. He's excited. And that's where he's got to in his career. And you guys are bloody lucky, I'd say, because he knows his stuff. He's also not an American, which I think is a head start, because he's not in your camp as such. He's able to be objective. He's able to be respected because he's been a bloody good rider. And I think it's a fantastic job. Would I want it?
Yeah, not that one, but like any of them.
No, a job like that.
Yeah.
It's a good question. I think I've always thought about it. I've always thought it could happen.
Right.
I think I'm not quite as old as Leslie, so I'm not quite ready.
Right.
We also discussed that.
That was it. But he did lay the groundwork for himself getting to that part, like developing riders here in the U.S.
Exactly.
So,
He was a
I think
natural stepping stone.
Yeah, it was perfect.
And to have somebody that's here, I know you've had some good guys in the past, but you're always shipping them in and shipping them out, and
Right.
it costs $1 million. And I think it's excellent to have someone that's on site. I would certainly be interested in that idea, but I'm not sure I'm ready for that time commitment.
Right.
Because it's going to take him a lot of hours. There's a lot to do, and I've got other stuff.
Well, you said you like
I
doing
will
nothing,
do.
first of all.
I like doing nothing. I like wandering around at home, and I want to see my family.
Right.
Because I haven't seen them for 20 years. I'd like to see my yard. I'd like to give lessons at home. I've never done one clinic in my place. Because I've never, when I'm at home, I ride my horse and I don't teach other people.
Right.
So I can do all that stuff now. So I don't need to suddenly spend my life on an aeroplane teaching somebody else or managing somebody else.
So what I'm hearing is if a country out there wants you, they need to pay you handily.
Am I that transparent?
That's what I'm hearing. I'm just saying I could be an agent for this.
And also for Leslie. Leslie's lucky in that he's got Karen Shooter that is going to be helping him manage the teams, correct?
Yes. Are we saying that last name right?
Shooter.
No, I think you are. I only call her Karen. I wouldn't know what the rest is.
We were struggling with this.
I think it is Shooter.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't even know she was looking for a job.
Yeah.
I mean, as you all know, her life is very much Ollie Townend.
Right.
And she has not got time to do anything else. So maybe she's given Ollie the sack. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what has happened with her and Ollie, but I know she's definitely part of the program over here now.
Well, it's exciting. She's hardcore.
Yeah.
She'll do a really good job, and
I think that's what they need.
Yeah.
I think it'd be.
If she can manage Ollie,
be a
she
good
can
mix.
do everybody else.
Well, I'm not going to contribute to that comment.
And by saying that, you have, so thank you.
But anyway, I think she is great, and she knows the sport so well.
Yeah.
She's passionate, and obviously she's got. How much time will she have to be in the States, or can she do it?
I think she'll be back and forth a lot.
Okay,
yeah.
so again, it takes a lot of commitment. So yeah, good for her.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Between those two, the stuff will happen.
Right. No excuses now.
No, I'm afraid not.
Right. Remember that, guys. It's time to get it done.
Hey, and something that did just happen, talking about coaches and teams, and we have a new program here in the United States called the U.S. Open Equestrian, and the USEF has started it for show jumping, for dressage, and for eventing, which is really cool. It's got $1 million, and it has a lead up and qualifications. But I wanted to give a shout out to the U.S. Women's Nations Cup team from Wellington. coached by Robert Ridlin, who just blew the competition out in Wellington, beating all the countries in the Nations Cup. It was like incredible watching these women ride. But I just wanted to give a shout out to the Nations Cup jumper riders. They were great.
Girl power.
Girl power.
We ought to have women's and gents in eventing, shouldn't we? We don't have anything that's women's and gents.
Well, I think it just happened to be women.
Okay. Oh, happened. Okay, it's not like it was.
They just were better than all the men.
Wasn't a women's Nations Cup.
Correct.
It was a women's Nations Cup.
It was an all-women's team because they were better than all of the men.
Yeah. They beat all the men on the other.
Oh, I
on the other
misunderstood
teams.
that. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It was an all-U.S. women's team because they were the best.
I was confused as well. Don't worry.
Oh, don't feed into that at all. So let's talk about why you're here. Why are you in the Ocala area? It seems like you're here annually.
Because it's a great time of the year to get stuck in with the teaching. Mm-hmm. It's probably the only time of the year that the Americans want me anyway to help, because after that they got so much going on. They're traveling all around the whole place.
Yeah, it gets busy.
It's kind of a time of year when they are in spots where I can go and do plenty of lessons. So it's I enjoy that. We're talking to Rhonda about organising another time to come back when we couldn't.
That's
work,
awesome. Yeah,
couldn't
Rhonda's
work
up
out
there. She does a great
couldn't work
job
out
for
when
you.
I'd be wanted, but it always fitted in quite well with my season, and our season is sort of starting now. But mine last few years starting later, because I've always said that you shouldn't go eventing until April, and
not in England, right?
Not in England. No, it's March is pretty grim. And the horses don't behave, and the weather's bad, and you can't turn them out because it's too muddy. And once the sun comes out a bit more,
yeah, it's nice here. I'm glad the weather's been nice here for you.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You're going to be wet tomorrow.
Is that right?
Is it gonna rain?
Yeah.
So
I've got my raincoat.
All right, perfect. It'll just be like being back home.
Yeah.
So this is airing a little bit later, but we are in March, right? No, we're in March.
We are just
March 4th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you are at Sarah Cosmplex tomorrow doing some stuff, and then Barnstaple the next
Thursday and Saturday, I think. Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it Wednesday tomorrow?
Yeah, I think all day.
Anyway, so
it is Wednesday.
Thursday, 2 days at Barnstaple,
right?
2 more days at Sarah's.
And you have good people coming in, and you do individual and a couple groups.
I think people can very much say what they want. Mm-hmm. I'm very happy to do both. I had a day of individuals today, which I love that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's
it gets you time to
you really get stuck in. You haven't got to worry. You know, when I'm teaching a group, I'm very conscious that everyone in that group is equal.
Right.
And you have to absolutely divide your time, because that is what they've paid for.
Right.
And that is my job. Whereas when I'm doing an individual lesson, I haven't even got to think about that. I can just say, yeah, right, this is your hour, your 45 minutes. And we can get stuck in. But the jumping, I suppose, tomorrow we'll have a bit more time. So it should
So was today dressage? What was today?
No, today was both.
Both.
A bit of dressage at Sarah's,
Mm-hmm.
and we went to Barnstaple, did some jumping this afternoon.
Okay.
But jumping everyone was on their own. And yeah, I really enjoy that, and the horses are looking good, and your horses are all so far ahead of us at this time of year.
We've been at it.
We always
So
realize
we're making a bid in the United States to move the Olympics to March 1st.
you should.
Yeah.
That'd be a good start.
Home field.
Forget about it being in LA. You think Barnstaple.
Yeah. We could do it at Barnstaple March 1st.
Yeah.
I think we'd have a good crack at that.
Yeah, there you go. I think it would
it's,
really pass through.
I mean, it's worth a try.
What's your favorite
Yeah.
thing? How many years have you been? This is like your third, fourth year in the March.
Yeah, it must be
Fourth,
my
look at Rhonda,
fourth
your
year.
handler.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
So what do you like to do? What's your best memory, not so far, but best memory in the past of being here?
Aside from being
on
on
our
our
show.
show.
Obviously, being in Rhonda's car and driving along miles and miles and miles to get to the
Right.
showcase all back. I've ridden the showcase a few times, and I've finally come to my senses and stopped doing that.
Right.
Well, let's talk about that. That's a good segue.
I've terrified myself enough. And it's one thing doing it on your own horse, but it's quite another when
Yeah, I've always thought you were pretty
when
brave.
you've got someone's precious beast. And
Uh-huh.
think, God, please, God, don't let me do anything stupid.
Right.
So, yeah, watching Austin, thinking, good on you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy where I am. So I've done all that. I've been very lucky. I've ridden Barnstable. I've ridden down in Wellington. I've ridden over in California. I had a horse there. I've had horses up in Toronto. I've done the
Royal
showcase in the Royal.
Yep.
And I've done it. I think, but that's amazing. What I feel it's given me so many experiences, so many different spots and approaches and people and stuff. So there are some riders back home who wouldn't dream of riding a strange horse,
Right.
Out of competition because you don't know it. But I've always done it. So I'm always quite relaxed about it, and I haven't had too many shocks and horrors.
Well, you're obviously a very smooth, sympathetic rider, so I think it's not like you're gonna get on and change what's happening underneath you, right? You ride what they are, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'm good at accepting
Right.
what I've got. And I think as a rider, sometimes people want to make something theirs.
Right.
And I'm good at accepting that they're not yours.
Right.
Mark Todd was king at just jumping on a horse and going to badminton.
Well, wasn't he? Exactly.
I was like, when I would
Yeah.
watch his videos, and it's like, I just got to ride him last week. I'm like,
Yeah, I've jumped a few jumps on him, and that's it. Yeah. No, I think it's
interesting.
I've been lucky. I've always kind of done it, so it's been okay.
You, like you just said, have ridden a bunch of these showcase type things.
Yep.
And I feel like I've heard or read things that you said about them in the past. So what do you think their value is?
I think it's quite obvious that the value of the Aiken Showcase is huge. I think it really gives riders a good target, chance to win a bit of money, get their horses out on an interesting course. Owners are excited. They have a great place to be. They can watch the horse. They feel so engaged with it all. It's all so tight and you're all together. You really feel you're getting good value for supporting your horse all those times when you watch him go off in the distance and you see him hopefully when he comes back. And you really are in there. Sponsors love it. Riders get a profile. And I think it's so good for our sport. It gives us, the public this year on the Saturday was great. There were lots of people there loving it. And I think it's so good for us to say, show what we do. People don't always know what we do.
Right.
And it's so, you one horse at a time, it becomes so clear. I think it's a little bit the way forward. I think please don't let it become our sport.
Right.
But I think there will be more and more of them. And I think eventually our riders will have horses for showcases and horses for 5-star and championships and other things. There will be a very specialised horse, I think. There were certain horses, for example, that really didn't go that well. And other horses that cope with it brilliantly.
And do you think that, and Rick and I have talked about this a lot, do you think that, I guess the question is, one, do you think it's good for the horses in general? And you sort of answered the question, but it seems like you could have a horse that's a very good 5-star horse that is not a very good showcase type horse.
Yeah. I think you've got to decide what you want. As a rider, I think it's very important that you remember what your objective is with that horse. And I think sometimes we get rather carried by a temptation, an exciting prize. And, I think there's someone who came fourth, got $4,000.
Right.
It's worth having.
Right.
You don't get $4,000 for coming fourth in much.
Right.
So, of course, you want to be there. But then when you take a step back of it and you think, well, actually, I want that horse for Kentucky Olympics, championships, who gives a damn about the $4,000, really?
Right.
So I think there's perspective on it as to what you want for that horse. And I think we often get carried by that excitement. And, obviously, Will rode fantastically. He rode 2 amazing horses around there. And it worked. But, if he's looking at one potential of those 2 is probably a 5-star horse. And Chintonic is possibly an Olympic horse.
Right.
Certainly he thought it was last year.
Yep.
And I know he's had time off. But you think, well, is the showcase somewhere where you should be going? With my old-fashioned hat on would say no. But
right.
I think, you've got to decide what what you're targeting, and I think that's what's important. And I think you should have your showcase experts where you can whiz and fly around and look amazing, and then you should have your country representatives in the wings which you're looking after.
Right.
I agree with that. Let's take a break, and I think on that focus is what I had mentioned before, the U.S. Equestrian Open that the USEF developed.
Yep.
We can talk about that a little bit more. We can let you know about it. Let's take a break.
Okay.
Listen to some sponsors and come on back.
Yeah, so thank you to Equibrew for sponsoring this segment, and we will be back in the Jump for Joy studio shortly.
For a horse owner on the road, your trailer is essential. No one enjoys being stuck on the road. At Horse Trailer Pros, we repair, renovate, and maintain all makes and models of horse trailers. We work directly with your insurance company or manufacturer for warranty repairs and insurance claims. Our state-of-the-art facility provides quick turnaround and friendly customer service. Considering a living quarter conversion? We do those too. Find comfort on the road with Horse Trailer Pros. Call or text 352-804-2131. HorseTrailerPros.com.
Another thing I love about Jump for Joy is that the jumps are so easy to move. It takes me and one other person to make a whole new cross-country questions. No tractors needed. I've got a lot of different sort of questions I've been able to design with these jumps. Set up some really difficult angled hedges, bank out the water to an angled hedge, and have these really nice skinnies. And another great thing is they have these amazing flags, so the horses always understand the jump between the flags.
Hey, it's John here. I just want to let you guys know I got back from schooling at Magnolia Sands Farm here in Ocala, Florida. Their cross-country field is perfectly suited for a first outing on a young horse or schooling your upper-level horse. Magnolia Sands offers over 110 jumps ranging from starter to intermediate, plus multiple banks, ditches, and waters. They're constantly updating their courses and have even added new ditches and a starter ditch wall. Conveniently located in Northeast Ocala, Magnolia Sands has made it easy for riders and trainers with online waivers, Venmo, and PayPal, and even offer a golf cart for guests. MagnoliaSandsFarm.com. Reset, reboot, rebuild, restore. Experience the transformative power of our formulas you can trust. Elevate your horse's well-being from the inside out with Parkmore supplements. European designed, American manufactured, and Kentucky Proud certified. Parkmore's Devil's Own Detox, Nature's Own Binding Agent, cleansing your horse's system. Now available for your canine kids too. Say goodbye to unwanted elements and hello to vitality. Parkmore Special Vitamin Mineral Supplement, a micronutrient powerhouse. No fillers, just 4 ounces a day for a 5-star adventure to thrive. Because excellence deserves exceptional nutrition. Parkmore GLF Immuno Booster. Unleash the magic gold, the #1 building block for cell replication. Elevate wellness and recovery for your horses and dogs, whether after training, travel, competition, or during periods of injury, illness, or surgery. Parkmore HI Oil Infusion. Customize your blends of herbs and spices to naturally combat inflammation, bacteria, and restore gut flora. Elevate your horses and dogs' appetite naturally. Expert guidance awaits. For more information, schedule an online, telephone, or on-site consultation with Fleur or one of our dedicated team members. Visit parkmoresupplements.com or call, text at 502-265-8345 to elevate your companion's well-being today. Since 1950, Maison Forestier has been offering its know-how to design custom-made saddles for passionate riders. In 2016, Maison Forestier took a turn and expanded into the sports world with the goal of improving the performance of the rider-horse pair. You will find a professional, reactive, and fun team to answer your needs. And this is why I have chosen Forestier for all of my saddlery needs. Feel free to contact the saddle expert in your area for more information by visiting www.forestier.com.
Welcome back to the John and Rick Show, brought to you by Horse Trailer Pros. We're still in the Jump for Joy studio, and we're still with Mr. The whole name,
Whatever.
William.
I was going to say, did you really forget?
Fox.
Yes.
I wanted
love
to
it.
like
Stop all
hold it
that.
out. I wanted
Stop
him
all
to
that.
say it, but he
I'm
wasn't
not
going
going
to
to say it. No,
See, you can tell he's
I'm
not going to
I'm
say
talking
it.
about my stupid name.
That's a great
I think it's a
name.
cool name. We talk about it all year.
It's so American.
It probably is, yeah. I remember very clearly when I just got my driving test.
Right.
And I was pulled over for speeding. And the guy said, "Get out of the car and stand and tell me what your full name is." And I said, "William Speed Lane Fox Pitt." He said, "Don't take the piss out of her." I said, "Here's my passport." And he had to say, "Oh, I'm really sorry." And that was the first time in my life policeman said sorry.
That is a
me.
great story.
And it worked.
It did
And it
work.
worked, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's a cool name, and I think it was a family name, correct?
Yeah. Speed is my mother's maiden name.
Right.
And Lane was one of my father's family names.
So just combined together.
We've all
and threw
got
it in there.
Lane, and all my poor kids have got Lane as well.
Do they?
Yeah.
Awesome. Do you have something
It's
in
quite
front
English,
of the lane?
isn't it? Yeah, they're called, like, my son is Oliver William Lane, Fox Pitt.
That's pretty cool.
And then the other ones are Chloe Rose
I like
Lane.
the
So
connection.
no like
But no,
Oliver passing Lane Fox Pitt.
I decided maybe not. No,
Okay.
I could have found some all sorts of...
funny.
That would have been really good, though. It would have been good. So we were talking about the showcase, its place in our sport, and John and I have had back and forth about it a lot.
Okay, yeah.
That was an invitational at Bruce's Field, which we were talking about how many invitations might have gone out, because it wasn't a really big field at Bruce's Field.
No, it was. I think they were a bit disappointed.
Yeah.
They certainly did a good job of dragging it all out a bit on the cross country, and
making
a
it
few
work.
didn't get round, and a few didn't run, and you always get people that aren't competitive and therefore not going to run.
Right.
I would, for example, I'd love to be invited, and I'd like to take my potential Olympic horse and go and do the dressage and jumping, and go home.
And go home.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's not quite the target of the
target
event.
of it.
But I think there are people that, aren't quite ready. It's very early. Somebody might have had a bad show jumping, so they're not going to run. So straight away you are quite down in numbers. But I think there are a few people that aren't there for various reasons.
Sure.
We're obviously really
It
missing.
has other targets.
They're doing other things. We're really missing Liz. Sometimes she's been riding 3. Doug Payne, sometimes he's riding 3.
Moved on.
Buck Davison wasn't there. He's often riding 2. So straight away,
You had a long
that's
list.
kind of like
Yep.
8 horses not there, and
Right.
it's a bit down. So I think you have to move on from that.
Yeah.
And
good.
I think you wouldn't change the event, would you? I think it asks the questions now. I think it's a good dressage level,
Yep.
good jumping, decent jumping level. The horses jump well. I came last year and I went to home thinking, God, our British horses don't jump like that. We had a lot of clear rounds, and that track walked big. And the cross country, you got to decide, in the 1st of March, do you really want to go flat out?
Right.
Because even though it's not a fast speed, there was no one hanging around.
Right. No, they were trying to get
to
around.
do the time, they were not hanging around.
Well, right, because it's maybe not fast, but it's a show jump cross country.
Yeah, you've got no time to gallop.
Right. So you got to keep
So
hustling.
you are riding those horses with that pressure, and you've got to decide, is that what you want early on in the year or not? I do think if it goes well and you get away with it, it's a great setup for the season.
Right.
I think whether you're going to Kentucky or a 4-star, it's, the horses there that would have done it would have been quite pleased to have sharpened their horses up.
Sure.
Maybe without a long, hard gallop on maybe some rough ground. The ground there is pretty good. I know it changed a bit, but it's very, very level. Not too many lumps and bumps, are there?
Right. No, I mean, it's a beautiful facility for sure.
Which leads, I think we were talking about the prize money, which we love to have prize money. The USEF has developed a program called the U.S. Equestrian Open, which is all 3 disciplines, but for eventing, it's $250,000. So $200,000 is going to be the final prize money at Morven in the 4 long. It's a 4-star short qualifications. We have a list.
That's not a first prize. That's prize fund.
Prize split amongst the
Yeah. Wow.
but the lead up they take and the people with the top 3 qualification scores, like you get points at Terra Nova, you get points at Kentucky 4 short, you get all these points added up in the 4 short.
There's already a leaderboard. Before
There's a
you get
leaderboard
there.
coming up to it.
So that the top 3 scores that count?
That's the $50,000. So the $50,000 is split first 25, second 15, and third is 10 before you even get to the $200,000.
Wow.
So going into the finals at Morven, then it's $200,000. Right now, Philip's winning. He's got a lot of points. I don't think he's going to be. There's a lot more qualifiers. There's only been 3 so far.
Okay.
But it's a kind of a cool
it's
concept.
Great. I mean, it's great. I know historically in the States you've not had great prize money.
Right.
I know quite a few events you guys go to, there is no prize money, which
Most.
Is that right?
Yeah.
So
So to have this kind of stuff starting now, whether it's a showcase or whether it's Morven, is
yeah,
really
and
exciting.
it's
really exciting.
It's very exciting. It's cool. Equa Ratings has gotten involved by doing predictions for each of the qualifiers to say these are the horses and their FEI record, and this is what we predict. So it's getting like a lot of play on that kind of thing. But that kind of segues into what was just announced recently about the Grand Slam money going away. Have you heard that?
No, I haven't heard that. Is that
So
right?
the Grand Slam, the title sponsor Rolex, correct? Hold.
Is going.
It's gone.
No.
So they don't have the $350,000
No,
for the Grand
okay.
Slam this year.
So
I just pulled that.
How many times has that been won?
I'm very quickly out of date.
Twice. So Pippa won it, right?
And Young, was it?
Yeah.
And Michael Young.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I guess they have to probably pay insurance on it, so it costs them something every year.
I tried a few times. It didn't.
You got close.
Didn't nearly happen. Oh, wow. Fell off. Did it all. But it's,
Did something.
No, I think, and I had horses. I had the chance, so
Right,
it was
right.
clearly not as easy as I'd like it to be.
Well, I was just happened to pull up some stuff on the before I came over, and I was like, Grand Slam money gone. I was like, what?
Wow.
Wow.
So
This is breaking news.
yeah,
That's
breaking
sad, isn't
news
it?
right
That
here.
is sad.
Actually, Sally broke the news on Eventing Nation. That's where I pulled it from.
Okay.
But then,
Go ahead.
obviously Morven is states only, so it's not going to help. the
So
whole
there's a
eventing
foreign
world.
there's a foreign entry that can
If you
happen.
want to come out of retirement, you could come.
So
I don't. I should, obviously.
Yeah, well.
I should.
So what happens is if you don't get into any of the qualifiers in the United States, even a U.S. rider can do this. They can pay $5,000 entry at Morven to be in the running for the 200,000, and they're going to add that 5,000 to the pot. So say they get 10
Okay.
riders that want to do it for 5,000. That's 50,000. They'll add it to
Oh,
the
wow.
250, and they'll do it that way.
That's a very new concept.
Yep.
Blimey.
I was like, because
Cutting
somebody
edge
said, well,
over here.
what happens if
Yeah.
you're over in England, you can't do a qualifier, and there's like, oh, just $5,000 you can enter,
Right. And it kind of makes sense because if you were coming from Maryland,
right?
you could bring over your 4-star horse as well, throw 2 on the plane,
And go for the money.
yeah, and come over and stay for a few weeks, do
And
more
now
than...
I've heard there's going to be a bit more funding to get some international horses
That
to
would
Maryland.
be, I haven't heard that. What's
I
one?
heard that. I heard that at Showcase.
Oh, good.
They're going to put some money into getting some more people over. So
I think that's probably
that is-
smart for Maryland, you mean?
That's very. I mean, just great to get.
Yeah.
That bit more like in the old days of Kentucky when we all came over on.
Sure.
All in sorts of support. You had a really good international field.
Yep.
And it'd be good to have the same in Maryland. I know last year that the field was a little
If we could
bit
get Trump to
lean,
send his
wasn't
airplane,
it?
do you
Yes.
think anybody would get on it?
What's that?
If,
We're not talking politics.
I'm just saying, if Trump sent an airplane over there, would anybody get on it?
Everybody would get on it. Get to come to
saying.
Maryland? Yes. They
Or
are.
Elon Musk, one or the other.
Oh my God, stop.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Just had to throw it in for ratings.
Perfect. Good job. Good
Did not
job.
do good.
All right. So, my question to you: Is there any horse in the world right now that, if they came to you and said, "We're going to give you this horse, we want you to come back," that you would do it for?
Ooh, it's a good question. Take your time.
Think.
No.
Really? No horses. You're like, oh, I would love to ride that one.
No, because he's done with that idiot factor. He didn't want to go there again.
I'm
Satisfied.
I shouldn't say it, but I'm really okay.
Good.
I think that I'm really not going to make one of those notorious comebacks that we're all guilty of doing in our sport.
That's incredibly healthy. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I think
You can tell he's satisfied, though.
I know.
I think he likes
Yeah.
what his life's doing.
I don't
That's
look.
Good.
You know, I was training the Brazilians in Paris last year,
Right?
and it was amazing. Paris. I mean, it was such an Olympics to be envied.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
was incredible sight, great course, and not once did I want to be there.
Really?
It's quite weird.
Didn't
isn't it?
get
It's
the
quite
edge.
weird. No,
So that answered
no,
probably your
I
internal
don't-
question.
Yeah, I just thought, you know, what's all the fuss about? Just
turn the page.
Just get on with it. It's all fine. It's only Olympic Games.
Jesus.
That was awesome.
I feel so. I feel so. You know, that's just not my. It's not my bag.
Right.
But I've had a few goes, and I've been very lucky. So I just feel that there's not much more that. Yes, of course, I love the sport and I love the horses and I love the whole journey, but no, I don't want that morning. I thought this year at badminton, when I woke up for the cross country day, I thought, this is never going to happen again. That was such a good feeling.
That's just I get that. Timed it right.
That's what got me through the day. I thought this Saturday morning feeling when you think I'm completely bonkers. What am I doing? I want to get in my car and drive somewhere where no one knows where I am.
Yeah.
I want to put my horse in the horse box and take him home and pretend he's lame.
He's limping.
And I just thought, I'm just never going to have that Saturday morning feeling again.
I'm glad it happens to you too, because that's definitely the way I felt when I went, was like, what is wrong with me? Like, my friends are at home in bed right now. And
and now he gets to be.
Now, yeah, that's me. But I think one thing about the sport is that often got through to me as we were competing. When you're at Olympics or at a big event or at badminton, and you go down to start, you're thinking, really, this is not good. You look at everyone else, and they are all the same.
Right.
So you really feel you're in it together. And that's always been a reassuring feeling that you're all crazy together, because no one is feeling good. They might be pretending, I might be smiling and chatting away. I'm still feeling the same as you.
Right.
You might be showing it in a different way, but that Saturday morning feeling is pretty universal. And the feeling now that I won't have it is amazing.
So you don't miss it. I remember David said he missed that. The nerves, the excitement before he went.
I missed the overall crescendo, the build-up, the hype, the kind of the adrenaline increasing to something.
Right.
But
the terror right beforehand.
Not that Saturday morning feeling when you think, what the am I doing?
Yeah. I remember, sorry, just real quick, my first time, which I wonder if you ever had anything like this, my very first Kentucky ever, I'm walking around the box and they're like 30 seconds out and my legs went completely numb. All the blood came out of my legs and I couldn't feel them at all.
What?
Yeah.
It sounded like you needed medical help.
I was like, honestly, I'm like, this is really weird. This has never happened before. And all I thought was, okay, if I jump fence one and I still can't feel them, I'm going to have to pull
Didn't
up.
something happen to you?
And I jumped fence one and they all came back and I was like, good to go.
So your pants weren't too tight?
No, I think all the blood had rushed out of my limbs to protect my torso and my vital organs.
That's funny.
Exactly. That is how stupid we all are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
that
not smart.
You were legless there for a bit.
Yeah.
So what we do on the show is we have a competition for the people that are listening. And I think, John, if you agree,
yes.
I think it should be, what is the name of the horse that William would come out of retirement for to return to competing?
Oh,
that's
a little bit of a trick question.
It's quite obvious.
Yep.
But I wouldn't. But if I was,
it
would be an obvious horse.
So hold on. Who? Just say it again so everybody.
Am I allowed to tell you?
Yeah, no, you have to. They have to know. They have to watch and listen and then go on our YouTube channel. So, which horse is it?
Well, Lordship Graffalo.
Oh,
I mean,
there
for
we
God's
go.
sake,
Yeah.
there is no more obvious horse.
That's
I would be very happy on that one.
Yeah.
You'd look a lot different than she would.
Yeah, he'd look like a pony, wouldn't he? I mean, he looks like a giant, but he's quite normal. But no, he's pretty amazing.
All right, so that's the answer. So it's
There we
not
go.
a trick question. It's a trick question.
It would have been a trick question had he not answered that, because they would have had.
That's why I was hesitating. I was thinking, well, you want me to say
No, this is
privately,
great.
or is
Yeah,
this
that's
gonna
perfect.
be
Now that we got it out of you.
Okay.
So there is one. So we could get you to make a comeback.
Because he
is what I'm
knows
hearing.
nobody's.
But
he knows
I
Ross.
didn't agree with the comeback bit.
Oh, okay. But if there was, that would be it.
If there was in
yeah.
imagination,
Okay.
that would be the one.
That's the horse. All right, so just repeat it one more time for everybody. The question is
what horse would William come back out of retirement to ride at a 5-star event?
To rephrase that, what horse would William might come back to
We can
ride
use it. We can phrase it however you'd like.
5-star event.
right.
Because are you afraid you're going to get a call and say,
Well, sadly, I'm not at all afraid, but I do say, oh, you see, you haven't given up. There's something that will draw you back.
okay,
If there were a horse that he were to come back for, it
There
would be
you
Lordship's
go.
Gruffalo.
There you go.
there we go.
That's it. Boom.
Got it.
Thank God I'm
Rephrase
here.
that right. That's super.
Okay.
So the Olympics in Los Angeles.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think it's obviously very exciting. You guys will do it properly.
Check.
You know, you've done LA before, you've done Atlanta. It's a good place to come.
It's going to be a long way.
So maybe
horses.
you two have the answers to this though. On the FEI, remember all the hoopla that the whole way that the format was going to be.
I haven't got there yet.
We haven't gotten there yet. Right?
I was going to
You're
carry
gonna
on.
get there? Okay.
But you interrupted him.
Go.
No, I just think I'm understanding they're talking about the format and they're now debating about going back again to changing to making sure show jumping is last. I could totally see why they were going to run the team event with the show jumping first, because the cross country is more exciting. They could finish on it, it would have worked. I could see as a one-off, as a timetable, why not? I think you could run the cross country in reverse order and you could just make our sport a little bit more
Like a Nations Cup.
with it. You know, how does anyone know? You know, no one watching really knows whether you're going first or last and where you're lying and whether you've got goodness knows how many penalties for pins and frangibles and flags and God knows what else. It would have been much more easy to see the end coming from the cross country. But as a old-fashioned rider, I'm a big believer that the cross country should be followed by the show jumping, because part of the test is to prove that your horse has come away from the speed. It's no longer speed and endurance, but this crazy speed carry-on day to being okay. You've looked after him. You are wanting him to jump well. You are wanting him to be sound. You are still going to carry on. I really think if you finished on the cross country, there would be people that would carry on the cross country when their horse was exhausted, inevitably. You know, for king and country, people would do it.
Yeah.
And I think, I'm hoping it's going to reverse and it's all going to carry on as it was, and cross country is going to remain before show jumping. But I can totally see the argument for the other way.
Sure,
So
that was what we were back and forth when it was happening. So are there talks to put it back the way that it was?
Yes.
Well, I've heard that. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
I think they're still they have not decided yet the format.
Okay, they haven't decided. I heard in Maryland they had decided.
The last I heard, which was this calendar year, they have still not officially decided what they're going to do.
Okay. Annoyingly, David O'Connor wasn't there, so I couldn't ask him.
Right. We'll try to get him on soon and we'll ask
So
him.
yeah, get him on and find out.
You'll know because you're obviously a regular listener.
He's a man that knows, and I will obviously
There you
keep
go.
up that way. Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, that was that's going to be a big.
Okay.
That's going to be a big question to
So
ask, right?
I can understand how it might happen team-wise. I would be disappointed because I do think it is 3-day eventing. It used to be speed and endurance. It used to be the biggest test of man and horse crossing country and coming out and being okay to go to battle the next day and all that stuff. But I do think in this modern day and age that, you know, to finish jumping epoxy around a show jumps is quite dull. But apparently in Paris, viewing figures were very high.
It was
on
amazing.
Our show jumping day.
It was amazing, yeah.
So maybe the public don't think that.
It was the most tickets were sold for any competition at the Olympics was for 3-day eventing.
Is that right?
Yes.
Well,
I did
they
not know
were
that.
in. Yeah, I can see that happening. There.
Now, there's arguments for that. Like, part of it is that it is such a big venue with
You
the cross
can
country.
sell
They can sell more
more,
tickets.
yeah,
You can only
yeah.
sell so many seats to track and field,
Okay.
right? But it was huge. And
Yeah.
the Olympic Committee was really excited about that. So
Well,
I
that's
think
good.
now they're more
We got a-
open to
we got
saying,
a
let's
plus
that
mark
worked,
next
let's
door,
do it. So I think there's a better chance it stays the way it was than
Because
it
of
changes.
Paris.
Because of Paris.
Okay.
That's my feeling, my
Right.
gut. And I think that's a really good point, which I hadn't, I know it's been said, but I hadn't thought about recently of, you run cross country last, you're going to press to get home because the competition's over.
It's a fact.
Yeah.
It can't be avoided.
Right.
You know, there'll be a moment we think, for goodness sake, he's not going to be good tomorrow. He might be lame, and if he isn't lame, he won't be able to jump anyway. So
Right.
enough's enough.
Look out
I
through the
think
finish,
that
canter
will
halt.
come in. I think that will. certainly in some of the less experienced countries.
Yep.
I think that's a concern I have anyway.
No, it's a
But maybe
it's a super valid one, and obviously you're an incredible horseman, so I think people would want to heed that warning.
Yeah, but I'm a little old-fashioned, so maybe they need to move on.
You're not, because you basically were very modern and said that you could see why they would do this, and you're
Okay,
super
yeah,
pro-frangible.
I'll take that. Okay.
Yeah, very modern. I would take it for sure.
That and might or if. Might.
Oh well, watch this space. You better keep up to date on that.
That's right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Check back in.
We're so glad you came and joined us again.
Well, thank you very much for asking me. It's great to be.
I'm not sure we did. I
asked
think.
and-
I think.
Did Rhonda ask?
Yeah, I asked Rhonda.
Okay.
And then she told you. That's what I think happened. No?
I called you.
Oh, she did actually. She's your agent.
Check.
We appreciate you guys, all of you,
Okay.
very much.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for being on the
Anytime
show.
you're in town, we want to have you,
Yes,
obviously.
definitely.
I love
So
you too.
we really appreciate it. Just to be very clear for all of the listeners on the competition, you have to go onto the YouTube channel and you have to comment there with the name of the horse that, if William were to come back for, that he would ride. That has to happen on the YouTube channel.
Yep.
Okay?
On the
And-
YouTube comments, yeah.
Correct. In the comments there under this show.
Very good.
All right?
Yep.
So thank you to Horse Trailer Pros. Thank you to Jump for Joy for sponsoring the studio. William, thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. We'll catch you on the
you,
next
sir.
one, everybody.
Very good. See you soon.
All right. We're out. We have an awesome show for you guys today.
The greatest eventer of all time.
Good news for the sport.